Hi everyone and welcome back. So today we're going to look at Unit 2.10. This is called Solving Equations with Rational Coefficients. And this is in our textbook on page 324. Go ahead and write today's date for me up at the top. And let's write the two objectives for today. So we're going to solve equations by dividing. And we're going to solve equations by multiplying. All right, so these are going to look somewhat familiar, not completely familiar, but basically what we're working with today is we're going to have fractions and decimals in front of our variables, okay? So you may have like one part where it's a decimal, you're going to have another part where it's a fraction. Okay, let's go ahead and take a look. So we're going to solve 4.2x equals negative 52.5, and we're going to check the solutions this time. All right, so remember that 4.2x means times, so to get rid of it, we're going to divide, so we need to take 4.2 on each side. Remember what you do on one side, you do to the other, and the whole goal is to get the variable by itself. All right, now the math is going to be a little bit more complicated. It's not going to be easy numbers like we've had in the past, okay? So we're going to have to come back and do some other math here out to the side. Okay, so let's go ahead and do that. So we're going to take negative 52.5, so 52.5. We're going to divide it by 4.2. All right, now remember, whenever you do dividing decimals, you can't have a decimal on the outside. So you got to bring it over 1, which means you got to bring this one over 1. So the decimal point's over there. Okay, so 42 does go into 52 one time, which is 42. And that gives us a difference of 10. We're going to bring down the 5. Okay, 42 goes into 105 two times, which is 84. And that's going to give us a remainder of 1 and 21 there. Bring in a 0, and that's going to give us 5, which comes out to 210. And no remainder. Okay, so it's going to be 12.5, and then we have one negative, so the answer is negative 12.5. All right, so the tricky part is going to be to remember to get the negative in there. You're going to have a little bit of long division here or there, but it shouldn't be anything too complicated. All right, go ahead and try the got it questions by yourself. So there are 4 of them. It's going to maybe take you a little bit. You may want to have a little bit of a extra room on this one, so kind of write farther over or just write small. If you need another piece of paper, that's fine too. All right, let's take a look. So we're going to have negative 19.6 equals 5.6x. We're going to divide by 5.6. Okay, we need to do long division, so it's going to be 19.6 divided by 5.6. We're going to take over one time, go over one time. All right, and that's going to go in 3 times, which will give us 165. No, 168. And we subtract, so I have to borrow here. So that's 8 and 28, so 0. And then that should go in 5 times. Let me double check that real quick. 56 times 5 is 30. Yeah, 280, so I thought. Okay. Okay, so 3.5. So x equals, and it's going to be negative since there's one negative, so negative 3.5. All right, let's go over here to letter B. We're going to divide by negative 20.9. y equals, and let's do that one. So that'll be 250. Every time. If I make a 5 too fast, it always does that. 5, 0.8. It's like I have to lift my pen extra high for some reason. Okay, so we need to move over 1. Move over 1. So there's the decimal there. Okay, so 209 is going to go into 251, which is 209. It's going to give us a difference of 41. Bring down the 8, and that's actually going to go in 2 times, and that's it. So it's actually 12. I guess I'll finish up my work over here. All right, so we get 12 on the dot. Okay, let's go to letter C. We're going to divide by negative 13.6. So we'll have 217.6 divided by 13.6. We move over 1, move over 1. So that's going to go in 1 time for 136. 1 there, borrow 81, and then bring down the 6. And should go in, let me try 6 times. Because 6 times a 6 always gives us a 6. Let me try it down here, I guess. So 136 times 6. 6, 18, 19, 20, 21. Oh, I got it. Okay. So yeah, that's it, 816. All right, so 16 times, and there's 1 negative, so A equals negative 16. All right, let's try the next one. So we're going to divide by negative 13.2. Okay, so 132 is going to go in 2 times for 264. 9. So we have 59 left over. Bring down 4, and let's try 4 because double of that would be, let's see, 8, 12, so carry 5, yeah, 528. 8, 6, 6, 0. So 4 times went in there, so if I add 1 more, oh, that's it, 24 and a half. Cool. Okay, so we get x equals, it's a negative and a positive, so there'll be a negative, and it'd be 24 and a half. All right, so yeah, those take a little bit longer, okay, as you can tell. All right, let's go ahead and try example 2. It says a drive-through safari zoo charges $12.50 per person for admission. In 1 hour, the park raised $675 in admission fees. Write and solve an equation to find how many people visited that hour. All right, well, it's $12.50 per person. We don't know how many people that is, so that's times P. And then altogether, we raised $675. So we're going to divide it. Okay, so let's do that out here to the side. So we have 675 divided by 1250. Back up 2 spots. Back up 2 spots. Okay, so let's try a 5 first here. Yeah, let's try 5. So 1250 times 5 give us 0, 5, 2, 6. We were pretty close. Okay, so 6250. I have 5 left, and then bring in 5,000. So it's got to be less than 5, so let's try 4. was even, 5,000 on the dot. Okay, so 54. So we have P equals 54, and in this case it actually meant something, so we need to say it was 54 people. Okay. Now this one actually has two answers because it wants the equation and the answer. Okay, so that one actually has two separate answers for that one. All right, go ahead and finish up, and let's turn the page. All right, let's go ahead and try the got it question by ourselves. And let's take a look. So it says a 1-year in-state camping permit for New Mexico state parks costs $180. If the total income from the camping permits is $8,280 during the first day of sales, write and solve an equation to find how many permits were purchased. Okay, so we have $180 per camper, or per permit, so we'll use P, I guess. And altogether it raised $8,280 on the first day. All right, so we're going to divide that. So iron to the side, let's work that out. And let's try, actually let's do this. Let's take off a 0 and a 0 here. I think that'll actually help us. So 18 goes into 82 4 times, which would be 72, right? Yeah, 72. There's 10 left over, 108. And then 18 times 6. Yeah, 18 times 6. Okay, so 18 times 6, and that is 108. Okay, so it's 46. So P equals 46, which means 46 permits. So we have that one, and then is the equation part of the answer? Yep. And there's the other part. All right, let's take a look at example 3. Okay, so these are a little bit trickier, I guess you could say. We're going to solve each equation and check the solutions. We have 1/4 y equals -8. So let me rewrite this first. 1/4 y equals -8. All right, so if you remember back from multiplying and dividing fractions, okay, we're actually multiplying here, right? It's 1/4 times y. So what we need to do is we actually need to divide by 1/4. Well, do we divide fractions? No, we multiply by the reciprocal. Okay, so what we're actually going to do is we're going to multiply here by 4/1. Multiply by 4/1. All right, these are all going to cancel out, and then I'm left with y equals, and I have -8 times 4, which is -32. And that's it. Okay, now it says to check your solution, but you can just kind of start spot checking now because you should be good enough at it. And we know that -32 divided by 4 makes -8. Okay, that's no big deal. All right, let's take a look at letter B. We have -3/5 x equals -6/25. Okay, so again, I want the variable by itself. Well, I need to get rid of it, so I multiply by the reciprocal. So we're going to do times, and we're going to flip it, so it's going to be -5/3. I keep the negatives up at the top, if you remember back from my fraction lessons. Okay, these are going to cancel off. So then times -5/3 over here. Remember what you do to one side, you got to do to the other. Okay, remember it's like that balance scale thing. All right, now there's two ways to do it. Remember when you multiply fractions, you can either multiply across the top and then across the bottom and then simplify, or you can simplify first. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and simplify first. So this is going to go to a 1 and a -1. A 1, and a -2. Okay, so when you look back at the work, it's probably going to look really confusing, but this is probably the easiest way to do it. Okay, so I have -2 times -1, which is 2. 1 times 1 is 1, so it's just 2. Okay. Oh, oops, sorry, it's supposed to be 25. My bad. 25. So that actually should be a 5 there. Okay, sorry. So that'd be 2 over 5. Oops, it didn't write for some reason. 2 over 5. There we go. Sorry. Almost messed that one up. All right. Let's go ahead and try the guided questions by ourselves. And let's take a look. So we have 7 equals negative 1/2 x. Okay, so we need to multiply by the reciprocal. So I'm going to multiply by negative 2 over 1. Multiply by negative 2 over 1. This cancels with that one. That one cancels with that one. So over here, I'm left with negative 2 times 7, which is negative 14. Okay, 3b, we have 6/7 m equals negative 3 over 14. We're going to multiply by the reciprocal of 6/7, so it'll be 7/6. 7/6. Those are all going to cancel. I'm left with m equals, and that's going to cross cancel to negative 1 and 2, 1 and 2. That's going to give me negative 1/4. Okay, let's take a look at letter C. We have negative 9 equals 1/3 n. And multiply by the reciprocal, so that's 3 over 1. 3 times the negative 9 is negative 27. That canceled with that with that, and I'm left with n. So negative 27 equals n. Okay, and yes, you can switch these around. I don't know if I said that in previous lessons. You can always put the letter back on the left. Just make sure you keep the sign the same, obviously. Okay, you can always switch it back. All right, last one. We have negative 1/4 equals 2/7 y. We're going to multiply by 7/2. And that's going to cancel these out. Get y. And then we have 7 times negative 1, which is negative 7. 2 times 4, which is 8. So negative 7/8. Okay, let's go ahead and circle these so we can see them really nice. And that's it. All right. So if you need to go back through and watch those again, since those are a little bit trickier, that's fine. Take your time on that long division. Don't mess up. And thanks so much for watching. Give me a thumbs up and a subscribe, and I'll see you next time.